Om Sri Sai Ram. With the divine grace of Swami, I take the privilege to introduce Srimati Swarna Gurumurthy, an orator and singer, going to speak about Atmanivedanam, the ninth form of Navavida Bhakti and a bhajan. I pray Swami to give her health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Swami. I am Swarna Gurumurthy, presently living in Gurgaon. I am blessed to be a part of Sai family right from a very young age through my mother Sita Lakshmi and my maternal family. Swami has always been a guiding force for our family. With his blessings, I would like to share some of my thoughts in the series Navaveda Bhakti about Atma Nivedanam. Srimad Bhagavatam enumerates Navaveda Bhakti as Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam, Sakyam Atmanivedanam. All kinds of Navaveda Bhakti are only the steps that lead to the total surrender to the Lord. A famous Tamil poet Avvayar made a very profound statement. Aridinum aridu, manindradanai pirattal aridu. What she meant was, we are blessed souls to be born as humans. Should we squander away our lives like animals? Swami keeps reminding us, use your exclusive virtue of viveka, the power of discrimination that no other living beings have. What is the purpose of human life? Swami always says, Atma Swarupulara, you are the embodiment of Atma. To realize this truth is the goal of this human life. How can we do it? Swami answers again in a very simple way. Atma Nivedanam. Surrender yourself to God. Swami says, surrendering to the Lord is surrendering your thoughts, words, and actions, not wishing for the fruits of actions, and do the action because it is your duty. It makes you realize that you are only the doer. It and humbles your ego. Swami says, be very careful and conscious of your thoughts as thoughts translated into words and then to action. We should steer our thoughts, words, and action only in the direction of truth. He always says, take one step towards me and I will take 100 steps towards you. Such is the love of Swami. What should be your state of mind when you want to try to reach the stage of Atma Nivedanam? A simple analogy can differentiate and make this clear. Have you seen a monkey with its baby jumping from one branch to another? If you observe, the baby holds on to the mother tightly. If it leaves the grip of the mother, it will fall down. But a mother cat grabs the kitten by the neck when it is shifting it from one place to another. Which is easy? To be like a little monkey holding on to its mother, or like a kitten which has just surrendered to the acts of its mother? Atmanivedanam is complete surrender to Lord, just like the kitten. Now, a question may arise. Is Sharanagati and Atmanivedanam one and the same? The answer is yes and no. How confusing it is. How can a question have a yes and a no for an answer? Sharanagati is surrendering oneself to God, so you can say the answer is yes. Sharanagati means taking refuge, and Swami gives us refuge. What Draupadi did when she cried out loud to Lord Krishna when she was disrobed in the court of Duryodhana is Sharanagati, according to me. The subtle difference between Sharanagati and Atmanivedanam is in the bhava. Atmanivedanam is offering everything, thoughts, words, and action, as a prayer to God. Atmanivedanam can be stated as the highest form of Sharanagati. I would like to share a small story on Atmanivedanam. Tirukadayur. Does it ring a bell? Yes, Abhirami. Anything else? This is the same place where Markandeya got the boon of immortality from Lord Shiva. To me, Atmanivedanam is at its best can be illustrated through the story of Abhirama Pattar. Abhiram Pattar was earlier called Subramanya Iyer. He was a pious Brahmin living in Tirukadayur. He was well versed in all Vedas and Shastras. His devotion to goddess Abhirami, who was their family deity, was unparalleled. He worshipped all women as Abhirami and would sit in ecstasy in front of the deity. People used to call him a madman. It so happened one day, it was Tai Amavasya, which is the new moon day. Raja Sarabhoji visited the temple with all his courtiers. Everyone in the temple paid their respects to the king, except Subramanya Iyer. He was sitting in front of the deity and immersed in her thoughts. This upset the king. People also joined immediately and scoffed at Subramanya Iyer's bhakti. He was so engrossed in the beauty of the deity that he was not aware of what was going on around him. To test him, you know what Raja Sarabhoji asked? What is the Tithi today? Without a thought, Subramanya said, Today is Paurnami. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. The Raja said, Oh, so will there be a full moon today? Subramanya Iyer answered, Of course, definitely. The Raja thought he was actually making fun of him. He became very angry. He said, If there is no full moon by the end of today, your famed devotee will be put to death. He walked away in anger. When Subramanya Iyer opened his eyes, people around him told what had happened. But Subramanya Iyer was very calm and he said to himself, I know, mother, this is your Leela. In the evening, there was a pit with fire, and on top of it was Subramanya Iyer hanging on a bar connected by 100 threads. He said with conviction, It is the responsibility of the goddess to save me, and started reciting the 100 shlokas of Abhirami Andadi. The beauty of the shloka is the last word is the first word of the next shloka. When he was chanting the 79th shloka, goddess removed her diamond-studded earring and threw it in the sky. It stuck in the sky and resembled the full moon in all its brightness. Seeing this, the Raja was humbled and he fell at the feet of Subramanya Iyer. He realized that it was a Leela of the Divine Mother to show the bhakti of her dear devotee. From then on, he came to be known as Abhirama Pattar. This is Atmanivedanam. One shloka which I could relate was Arindhen Yavarum Ariya Marayai Arindu Kondu Cherindhen Munadu Tirupadikke Tiruve Veruvipirindhen Nin Anbar Perumai Ennada Karuma Nenjal Marinde Virum Naraga Kuravaya Manidaraye. He says that though I had learnt all the Vedas and the Shastras, what I realized is this is all worth nothing when I have surrendered at your feet. Thinking of you always. Divine Mother, I try to keep myself away from non-believers as I know for sure that I will go to hell even if I am in the company of those non-believers. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ejana paryupashate tesham nityabhiyuktana yokakshemam mahamyaham. By concentrating on God always with no other object in mind and with full devotion, God takes on the responsibility to provide you with what you need and also protect all that you have. Adi Shankara in Bhajagovindam has clearly stated that once you surrender to God, you will be released from the cycle of birth and death and you will attain Jivan Mukti. He says, सत्संगत्वे नित्संगत्वम, नित्संगत्वे निर्मोहत्वम, निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वम, निश्चलतत्वे जीवन मुक्तिः. From satsang comes non-attachment. From non-attachment comes freedom from delusion, which leads to self-awareness. From self-awareness, we attain Jivan Mukti. When we develop the feeling of total surrender, we do not need anything. Swami rightly says, first I give you what you want, and later I make you ask for what I have come to give you. With a small bhajan, I offer this humble prayer of Atmanivedanam. अंतर ज्योति जलाओ साई, ब्रह्म सनातनी दया करो, दया करो, हे पूर्ण ज्योतिर्मयी शिव शक्ति मयि कृपा करो, दीन दयामयि पतित पावनी साई जग जननी दया करो, साई जग जननी कृपा करो. Let us pray to Swami to light up the spiritual lamp in us. Jai Sai Ram.